in Sovereign Grace, we're not only Reformed, but we're charismatic. So, biblically defined. So there is a value of the active presence of the Holy Spirit. There's a value of being sensitive to the Spirit. But I also know, from watching you two, that you're very diligent in your planning and in your preparation for any kind of gathering, in particular Sunday morning. So how do you integrate those two values? Diligent preparation, faithfulness, and a sensitivity to the Spirit, wanting to be Spirit-led. How do you integrate those two values?
How do you integrate those two, Bob? Am I supposed to go first?
You taught me everything I know.
Oh, that is kind and not true. If your understanding of the person and work of the Holy Spirit doesn't involve or include planning, then you're dumb. I don't know how to say that more sensitively or politely. No, that let's be charitable. That would be a concerning ignorance.
That's much better.
And dumb. So the Holy Spirit is no less present in planning. And I think to be effective spontaneously, to be effective in the moment, the Sunday moment, you are dependent on previous preparation. I think through preparation, then your heart is at rest, at peace, and prepared to discern the spontaneous. I think you're much more vulnerable if you don't plan and prepare, and I think it'll become evident to people that you're making it up as you go along. So we should not create an adversarial relationship between planning and the active work of the Spirit in the moment during the Sunday celebration. They work together. There is a relationship with each other, and so we do diligently plan. I think that is wise. I also think it's humility 101 to plan and prepare. It serves the entire team in order to plan and prepare, and then I think it positions and prepares us to be discerning and listening in the moment for any deviation from that plan. I think what we attempt to do when we have this privilege to serve and lead is plan and plan diligently, but not depend on our plans in detail throughout the meeting. And we don't have any hesitancy to deviate from those plans if we think there is a discernible impression or insight that would be trustworthy direction.
And I just want to say that CJ, worked here at the church 12 years ago, moved here, and our planning at that time, this is what our planning used to be. I'd come up with a group of songs, and then we'd be practicing them on Sunday morning, and then someone would come and say, CJ wants to see you in his office. And then I'd go see CJ in his office knowing exactly what's going to happen. I showed him a list of songs and said, that third song, I don't know if that works so well. And really? No, because you got another song.
You're so humble.
And that ending song, you got another ending song? I think, well, yeah, I do, but we just rehearsed like all 5 of the songs. And I could get back. Okay, it's all right, we'll do it. So that was that then.
Right. And that didn't serve you to be informed?
Well, not really, no.
Yeah.
If I was to be completely honest.
Sounds like you're still offended.
A little bit.
So let me do it again. Bob, will you please forgive me?
Yes, I do, Joe. Completely. In light of all I've been forgiven, I forgive you.
Thank you.
But over the years,
been so patient with me.
CJ changed. He started realizing that wasn't so helpful, and we would start planning song lists for like a conference. The first 3 sessions, we would think through the songs together, and that really does bring peace. And just as CJ said, enables you to focus more specifically on a spontaneous impression. And one of the things that CJ has done consistently through the years is, after we've planned, after we've prepared, just say, okay, have you gotten anything from the Spirit in terms of what might be a particular impression or focus, or in other words, have you been listening even after we've planned? I think most of the time we plan and we think, done, completely done, over. Now I just go and fulfill my plan. Yeah. And I've learned from this man that your job's not done. One of the ways the Spirit leads is as you plan. Another way he leads is after you plan. Yeah. Or during the meeting. So it's just that combination of doing both. Being eager to listen.
I can remember in the back before a meeting praying, and we would leave having prayed for the meeting, having planned, and CJ would often say, let's be listening and let's be leaning forward. And that's not just for an expression of spiritual gifts or prophecy. It could be maybe during this particular song, the Lord may lay on our hearts a particular group of people to pray for. Be that at that moment, be that at the end of the meeting or something like that. Right. But I just love those phrases have always stuck with me. Let's be listening. Let's be leaning forward so that we can step out in faith. So it's very helpful.
Yeah, I think it would be arrogant for us to assume that our planning was sufficient and that we perceived accurately, sufficiently, flawlessly in our planning. So our planning is of critical importance, but I don't think we should transition from our planning assuming that was sufficient, that was accurate. Because of our understanding of the personal work of the Holy Spirit, there is a spontaneous element. And if our services were predictable, for me, how I would view our Sundays is if everything we planned took place without the inclusion of some spontaneous element, then for me, and my understanding of the personal work of the Spirit, I would think there was some deficiency there we need to address so that we can discern the active presence of God, because God is present to bless when His church gathers.